In this video, I want to talk to the short filmmaker. More specifically, I want to talk to those of you that maybe are just starting out in short film. You like the idea of making a film, but maybe you've never done it before, and you're just accustomed to maybe getting family, friends together to kind of help you out. And believe me, I've been there. I know that when I was a kid with my dad's VHS camcorder and I wanted to make a movie, I didn't have a plan. I just called up my friend, said, "Hey, what are you guys doing this afternoon? Let's go make something." And we went off, down the street into the woods near our house, and we just kind of came up with something on the fly. But there comes a time when you want to be more serious about this, that you have to, get a group of people together and build up a crew. And sometimes that's easier said than done, especially when you're working with, very, very little money or maybe no money at all. So let's talk about building a crew from the ground up and what you need to do. First, keep this in mind. Building a crew is one thing, but how you go about doing it could have either a positive or negative effect on everyone's overall experience when they're making the film. So let's say you want to make a short and you just call people up and say, "Hey, you want to help me make a film?" And they respond, "Yes." Well, then that's great. You repeat that process several more times, and maybe they all say yes, and everybody's involved, and they're all together, and you're really excited about this because at this point you have a pretty good crew. You have enough hands on deck to make sure that everything is taken care of. Except when everyone gets onto the set and filmmaking starts, no one's really exactly sure what they're supposed to be doing, what they're supposed to bring, what their essential functions are. So yeah, you have enough people to do the job, but the specifics of what those jobs are remain unclear. And if you have a lot of people that are just kind of standing around, not really understanding what the goal of the day is, what the point of the film is, what they're all doing, that could really affect morale and then affect the quality of your final film because very few people end up doing a majority of the work. Instead of saying, "Hey, you want to help me?" start off by being a little bit more specific. What is that person's skill set that they are best suited for? What role can that person do for you? So think about the people that you're talking to first and foremost. What are their skill sets? What do they like? What are they good at? And instead of saying, "Hey, you want to help me make a movie?" why don't I try asking them, "Hi, I'm making a film. Here's what it's about. Here's the premise. I can send you a script, but I really need help with this specific task. Do you think you could help out?" It's subtle, but it makes a difference because the people that you're asking suddenly know as they're going into the project, before anything ever starts, they know what their job is and they know specifically what they need to bring to the table. Now, this might go without saying, but you definitely need to hold meetings with your cast and your crew, even if it is a low/no budget short film. Now, we take that for granted sometimes when we're just starting out making films. Just because you are making a low/no budget short film, that doesn't mean that you can't be professional and can't treat it like a professional production. In fact, I think if you start off making short films with that discipline in mind, that I'm going to approach this with a level of professionalism that you see on big budget features, then I think that gets you into the habit of doing certain things a certain way and doing it the right way that is going to prepare you for those experiences and those opportunities down the road. So hold meetings. Hold meetings with your cast and crew. Go over the script. Go over the shot list, the schedule. Talk about logistics. Plan everything out. Yeah, that means more time. And I know sometimes when you're dealing with a crew that, they're being very generous and donating their time, you can feel as the director as though you don't want to take advantage of that generosity. So you want to limit the amount of time that they're spending on this project. But I guarantee you, if you do that pre-production up front, people are going to have a lot more fun once you get onto set, and they're going to have a much more positive experience because they put the time in on the front end and everyone knows exactly what's going to happen on any given day and that you're all moving in the right direction. And that leads me into my next point. Provide a shot list and a production schedule. Even if it's a 2-day shoot, a 1-day shoot, whatever it is, having that production schedule on a call sheet or wherever you want to put it goes a long way to helping everyone stay together and understand what they're doing. Set aside time for a tech scout with your key department heads. Even if the key department heads are just you and a buddy of yours, take the time to go out to the location, talk through logistics, see where you're going to load in, where you're going to load out, where you're going to set up, where you're going to put lunch, dinner, whatever. Go over every little detail. You'll be surprised at just how many people don't do this on short films. And, hey, if it works for you, it works for you. But I'm just speaking from my own personal experience regarding what has helped me along the way. And bringing all those department heads together, going out on location, walking through each day of the shoot, it really does help, because there may be some things that you didn't think about during your pre-production meetings. There may be some questions that your department heads have, but maybe they didn't know to ask them until they see everything in person. And then they can look around and say, oh, hey, what about this? Hey, and that might be a very good question that no one ever brought up before, and then you can address it before it becomes a bigger problem later. And this becomes so important, specifically when you're talking about audio for your short film, because you might have to reconsider the location as a whole. Because if the location is specifically noisy, if you're shooting under a bridge, let's say, well, that could be a big problem when it comes to your audio. It may look fantastic, but it may not be worth the trouble in post-production when you're having to, replace all the dialogue because you couldn't get clean sound the day of the shoot. Listen for those things that could be a problem when you're actually trying to record clean sound. Even those subtle things that you might always take for granted: ticking clock, air conditioning, refrigerator, anything that you might have to unplug, unscrew, take out, whatever it may be. So even if you're dealing with a smaller crew on a very small, independent short film, still approach it with the same discipline and the same professionalism as you would for any big budget feature film. And doing these things, that will definitely help you, not only for your short film, but also for your future career. Because, hey, let's say you are directing a big budget feature one day, and I really hope that you are. Thinking about the things that you've learned by being disciplined on your short films early on in your career, when you were just starting out and trying to figure things out, treating it professionally then is going to help you even more down the road. So what thoughts do you have? If you have any other ideas, suggestions, tips, things that have worked for you, please let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Put those things in the comments section. As always, you can connect with me at linktree.com/Clint Till. That's where you can find everything that I'm working on. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.